Yeah,
Hello and welcome. Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us?
yeah. Oh, there we go. It's
Yeah.
going.
Oh, wow. Welcome, chat. Welcome. Thank you, Dr. Celery, for that amazing theme song for the Flying Goat podcast.
Yes, your efforts will not go unappreciated.
Oh, it was such a good song. Thank you so much. We're flattered that you made it, and we're very happy to use it. So we're excited to
Yeah,
use it, and we have some news for you all. If you don't know,
yeah.
um,
This is,
this is the end of an
well,
era.
it is
This is
like the end of something that started late December. I think we were just talking about that.
Yeah, we've been running this stream for about 4.5 months now, and we are going to continue streaming, but this is the last chapter of the John Marsh story. We will be doing other
Yeah,
content, and we'll reveal what that will be probably next stream. But for now,
yeah,
we're going to enjoy the finale of the John Marsh saga.
yeah.
Now, chat, how are you doing? Ren, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I eagerly anticipating reading this.
I mean,
I was promised a lot of Kenyan energy.
yes, for those who
Um,
don't know, this is a Kenyan chapter, which means, you know, things will go very Kenyan chapter.
yeah.
So get ready for a very, very Kenyan chapter.
Often the Kenyan chapters have been the defining chapters of the book.
Well, we were talking about the IRS chapter and the finger chapter, but besides
Yeah,
that, there's been a lot of defining Ren chapters, don't forget.
yeah. I think I think my writing has generally been very straight, and you've just gone to the wacky places that give the book its character.
You know, whatever works for our novel works for our novel.
Yeah,
But chat, it seems like chat's doing well. They're in tears, but it is what it is, chat. We have to
it
we
is.
have to make a beautiful story end at some point.
Yeah, it if it went on forever, it would get kind of boring for everyone, I think.
Yeah, and also we aren't Oda, and for context, Oda's the writer of One Piece, which has about 1,000 volumes out. Um,
Mm, yeah,
so we aren't that. We can't do that. We can't continue the same thing forever. But we do want to, please the crowd and give John Marsh a good ending. And
yes.
good ending may or may not be here. I'm gonna say may or may not because I don't know if mine was that great. But say la vie.
I did take a peek at the last line. Um, I will not spoil, but very interesting.
I wanted to set up for your potential epilogue.
Yeah,
So,
that's something we'll have to think about, talk about,
mhm.
whichever.
Which if we do have an epilogue chat, we'll stream it. We will.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Now, Ren, are we ready? Are we ready to get into it?
Oh man, I've got the Jimmy leg. I think we're ready.
This is this is 4.5 months in the makings, folk.
Yeah.
All right.
And what
Well,
will you be playing in the meantime?
I'll be playing some good old coloring pixels. I think
Yeah.
it's my staple after Skyrim kind of went downhill. Um, I've just been
Yeah.
doing that because it works, and I do like things that work.
Yeah.
So
Although, speaking of, it looks like it's focusing on the top corner of the screen.
Is that because of the aspect ratio?
It might be.
Let me change the aspect ratio then. But that's all right. It's all right. We can. Is there an exit? There it is. Yeah, hit exit. All right, chat. Welcome to my Steam library. It's loading. I'll go 16 by 90 because that's what the aspect ratio probably
All right.
is.
Oh, actually, it seems to be capturing everything in the corner of the screen.
What do you mean everything? Well, yeah, it is capturing everything because I don't have it on a... whatever. Chat, is this alright? Is this alright, chat? Are you really going to be that peeved? I'm kind of lazy, chat.
Oh, well.
Whatever. You'll have to live, chat.
Oh, someone...
We
love you no matter what.
Looks fine to me.
Alright.
Chat says it's alright. It's alright.
Fine. Alright, let's go then. Chapter 18. I drove through the large streets of the capital and took in the fresh air. This was my day. I finally knew this was coming. Mother always spoke about how Jesus knew when his time was. I'll never be as cool as Jesus, but I guess this is my revival. I'm not dead, though. I guess I'm just ranting. From my knowledge as a bit of a resident, I knew that the state treasury was right across the street from the old 7-Eleven I used to get my snacks from. Slowly, Fritz and I made our way to the 7-Eleven and parked the car. Fritz was sweating the whole way. This whole mission must be too much for him. Sometimes I worry about the damage I might be causing to the young man, but most of the time I don't. He should be fine. I mean, I turned out all right. Why won't he? As soon as I pulled into the 7-Eleven parking lot, Fritz grabbed onto my arm, squeezing it tight. You know, John, maybe the best preemptive plan before our invasion of the headquarters should be a little bit of a meal. I nodded. I'm always good for some food. So the two of us hopped out of the car and walked into the 7-Eleven. I found a couple bucks in Shulman's car, so I planned on using that while we were eating. I grabbed myself a sandwich and a soda while Fritz was searching for what he wanted. I was standing in line. While standing in line, I peered out the window. God, I'm making a lot of mistakes.
Oh, good. It's the nerves. It's the nerves.
Yeah. I saw a couple of cop cars rolling towards the state treasury, some armored even. There must have been some big heist they just went on. Oddly enough, as I continued to look, it seemed like they were walking over to the 7-Eleven. Maybe they were just hungry. I didn't want to take any chances, though. I ordered my own food and headed out to the car to hide while Fritz was still looking. He could figure himself out. I got the bag with the guns and hung it around my shoulder. Took a bite out of my sandwich and slipped behind the 7-Eleven. Crouching behind a dumpster was tough with all the weight I was carrying, but seeing as though I have been exercising more than usual lately, I knew that I could handle it. The door of the 7-Eleven smashed open. I heard screaming, and then orders being barked. The IRS was raiding the place, and these innocent civilians were in the way. I looked around the back of the establishment and saw a large canister with a flame stenciled on it. Immediately, I knew what this was, and I'd played enough arcade games to recognize an explosive barrel. So I ran a great distance from the barrel and pulled the revolver out of the duffel bag. I heard the ruckus the IRS was causing in there, the poor yelps of the guy behind the register, the solemn prayers of the old lady just trying to get her food stamps traded. I knew what must be done. I raised the revolver and pulled back the firing pin. With a quick crack, the bullet flew from the muzzle, digging itself deep into the metal of the canister. The small sparks soon exploded into a cloud of flame, which consumed the small 7-Eleven in a ball of flame. The horrified screams of the IRS made me smile. I knew this was the start of something great. I threw the small duffel bag over my shoulder and sprinted across the street. I saw even more IRS agents pouring out from the building. I raised my rifle and began to fire at them as I approached. One after one I downed, their vile kin being blown to bits by my revolver. I dove behind Shulman's car to reload, but I knew I wouldn't have time for that. I opened up the bag and pulled out the shotgun. My only issue was, I had to close the gap between the IRS HQ and myself, so it took a couple deep breaths. This was for me, for Fritz, for Schulman, for so many who had been wronged by Quincy and his gang of monsters would finally feel justice like the wind in their sails. I stood and began to charge across the street, yelling my battle cry. Krav Maga! Krav Maga! Krav Maga! I yelled, and I weaved between the bullets and tasers. I was almost across, and I began to raise my shotgun. As soon as my gun finally reached my eye, and my bore was trained on another dirty IRS goon, I heard a honk. I turned to my right and saw the grill of a tractor trailer barreling down the freeway. I closed my eyes and braced myself for impact. I woke up, strung to a gurney and surrounded by doctors. They all kept on telling me that I needed to stop moving and grabbing at nurses. Something about harassment or whatever. But I needed to get out. I needed to be free. And then, just as I thought I might be able to make a grand escape, to go back out and serve justice for my community, I saw my end. Quincy rounded the corner and entered my room, and slowly began to laugh. I started to tear up. I, the great John Marsh, had failed Marissa Schulman. Quincy walked up to me and put his hand on my shoulder. You know, John, Schulman's killer was discovered. We have him in custody now. I wouldn't say it was your doing, but you brought some much-needed attention to the woman. My trickle of tears turned into a waterfall. I hadn't failed. I did it. I was a true detective. I would have made Mama proud. Quincy coughed. Now, I have a couple questions for you. And that's the end.
And that's the end, folks. Now, Ren, I have to ask, what did you think?
Certainly not the direction I was expecting.
No, not me either. Not me either. I have to be very honest. I didn't go into the chapter thinking he was going to get run over, but
yeah. I mean, it's not.
I felt it was fitting.
It's not exactly off-brand.
No, it's not. It's quite on-brand, to be honest.
Yeah.
Chat says, I will drive your house right fucking now. And they're screaming, no! Chat, I know it's heartbreaking, but he did get run over by a tractor trailer.
He did. He did. Now, on a scale of... Oh, God. What's the thing you can think of with the greatest ending?
Well, the Ren and Kev podcast. On a scale of the Ren and Kev podcast.
Well, no. I was going to ask, on a scale of Disco Elysium to Game of Thrones, where, chat, do you think this ending lies?
Yeah, chat, did you enjoy the end?
Give it a Zarkos and Miki.
Didn't he blow up a 7-Eleven with innocent bystanders? Yes, he did.
He did. He did. I think we all expected something like that was going to happen.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Kenyan chapter without it, now would it?
It wouldn't. I mean, it would have been a me chapter too. You know, I probably would have done the same.
That's very true. Wouldn't we all have John Marsh blow up a 7-Eleven?
10 pieces of orange chicken, says Sphered Buckle.
That's true. Gotta have the orange chicken, because this stream was brought to you by George House. Brought to you by George House.
Sponsored.
Sponsored. Gotta rep the sponsor. 10 out of 10, I have no idea what happened. Dr. Celery!
Yeah. It was a bit of a mess, but that's kind of the way, it was always going to end, I think. A mess.
I thought it was a beautiful, well-written, well-rounded piece of literature, Mr. Ransom.
Oh, yes. I don't know. I think whoever would have written it, it would have been a mess, Mm-hmm. That's just the nature of John Marsh.
Yeah, I mean, every chapter is.
He is a mess.
A bit of a mess, yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
He's a real piece of work there.
When you guys publish this, use Dr. Celery's quote on the back cover. We will.
10 out of 10. I have no idea what happened.
We will use it.
Yeah. We will.
When we potentially publish this.
Just on the Amazon Amazon Amazon, I don't know what they call it, page. Just 10 out of 10. No idea what happened.
Yeah, chat's asking for a sequel, and that is,
A
something that
sequel
we'll have to
already.
visit in due time. Now we have to, take a breath from their original work.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
wild
I
ride
think
though.
yeah. I think if we're gonna collaborate on something again, we're gonna take a little bit of a break
Yeah.
for now.
Fritz is the main character of the sequel. Fritz got blown up in a 7-Eleven
He
joint.
he, he kind of did. Yes, Marcos? What? Oh God, no, no fan
No
fictions,
fan fictions. We will ban you from
please.
from
Yeah.
everything.
If we find out that there is Rule 34 made of this,
I think a window must be opened so I can jump out of it.
yeah,
Then again, knowing Sakram Soma, we're probably encouraging him.
probably. I know you didn't, but that's kind of where fan fictions lead, Sakram Salma.
That's very true. That's very true.
But, what happens if Fritz survived? Question mark asks Sphered Buckle.
We don't know that. We'll have to see that for the potential sequel.
Or the epilogue.
Or the epilogue. Or the part where we team up with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator shows up.
Yeah.
I think that brand deal is going to come in very nicely.
Yes. Well, now will Schwarzenegger play Fritz or John Marsh?
No, he's going to play Schwarzenegger. He's just going to
Oh,
show
I
up.
see.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
He's just
I understand.
And I'll be like, oh my god, Arnold, what are you doing? And it's like, bam, 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 Fritz, you're a robot now because you got blown up. That chat says, what if Kev? I mean, I'm already here, chat. Ugh.
That's true. You're part of the podcast.
Yes, part of the Ren and Kev podcast. It's called that for a reason, chat.
It does. It is so named purposefully. Yeah. What if Kev is John Marsh's sibling? I don't know. Is your last name Marsh?
It is not. It is not. It is not Marsh. That's the thing.
I think that's rather elucidating. Yeah. Illuminating. Elucidate is different. I think. Wait, let's see. Define elucidate.
But his finger. What if I'm his finger?
Elucidate. Yeah, no, it is to make clear. Okay.
Now, chat. Any final words in the John Marsh saga? Any final notes to be had? Any final things you want us to hear before we put this novel on the shelf, so to speak?
Sakram Salma is suggesting a science fiction non-canon sequel where John Marsh's finger becomes sentient.
You never know, chat. You never know. Ren and I do have a lot of creative power.
We do, yeah.
Nobody's stopping us from doing that.
If by creative you mean we might as well be high or something even when we're not.
Mm-hmm. Chat also says we have to counterspell the ending.
Oh, yes.
And damn, chat, I have to say, I counter your counterspell. 12% of what happened.
Oh, you weren't here for most of the chapters, were you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Spirit Buckle. However, there is the public option available. If you would like to read the entire book.
Yeah, I gotta copy the chapter over now.
Actually, for context, for those who aren't friends of the podcast, Spirit Buckle and I may be working at the same place soon. So maybe I'll play the audiobook version through my car as we drive to work, so he can get caught up. I'll listen to my own voice.
Yeah.
How wonderful. He says, yo, I discovered DNA while on LSD. Who says those guys? Well, Francis Crick didn't discover DNA. We know this. It's the woman who worked with him, who I forget the name of.
Yeah.
Kind of unfortunate.
Rosalind Franklin.
Rosalind Franklin. I have a test on that soon.
Yeah.
Well, chat, I have to say thank you so much. I think that's one of the big things, is just thank you guys.
This wouldn't be possible without viewers like you.
That's actually kind of true, though. We can meme it all we want, but...
Yeah.
But this wouldn't be possible with you guys. You support cassette tapes of the audiobook? It depends on if you're willing to make them yourself.
Yeah.
But chat, Thank you. This has been a wild ride.
Yeah,
A lot's
it
changed.
really has. Yeah,
Lots changed in 4 months.
it really has. Like, I don't think I ever would have expected going into this we'd have a theme tune now.
Yeah. Dr. Celery, we love you
We
too.
love you
We
too.
love you too.
I think
It's
we got to break into the audiobook market now.
That's
It's
true.
everyone's clamoring for it.
I think that chat's a very important part of the podcast though, and I don't think I will be able to do chat without them or do the book without them. I think chat's what makes it.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly good.
Well, thank you so much, chat. It's been a wild ride, and we can't wait to do more content with you guys.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we will see you guys on the flip side.